We are back in session. Parties and counsel are present. All members of our jury or alternates are present. Our witnesses have any witness stand. Mr. McGee, you may cross-examine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Detective, or Sergeant, excuse me.
Good morning, sir.
Now, the people showed you Exhibit 191 before, which is the picture of a bone with a pin flag next to it. Do you remember that exhibit?
Yes, sir.
Were pictures taken for each item that was collected next to a pin flag?
I did not. I'm sorry, I thought I heard someone else pipe up there for a second. No, I did not photograph each item. I do believe the CSI personnel photographed the items.
And you weren't the one that set up the scene around the grave sites, correct?
No, sir.
Now, you had other aspects of the investigation you were involved in, correct?
Some, yes, sir.
One of the items was you were collecting evidence from the FBI.
Objection beyond the scope.
That's for latitude, so we don't have to
Oh,
make
no, yes,
Your Honor, may we approach?
all right. Make your point. All right, the last objection is to stay as beyond the scope of direct examination.
And based on the court's ruling, the defense has no further questions.
Okay,
Witness subject to recall from the defense.
yes. So you are excused from the court for now. I assume you can call back at a later point, and I assume they know where to find you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. And if you can call your next witness.
Sergeant Armando Avila, please.
I do.
State your full name, spell it for the record.
My name is Jose Avila, K-L-S-E. Last name, A-B as in Victor, I-L-A.
Okay, you may proceed.
What is your occupation, sir?
I'm a sergeant with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department.
And how long have you been employed as a sworn peace officer in the state of California?
Just started my 19th year.
What's your current assignment?
I'm assigned to the Hispanic Station.
Back in 2013, what was your rank and what was your assignment?
I was a detective and I was assigned to the homicide detail.
Back on November 11th of 2013, did you receive a call to respond to an unincorporated area north of Victorville?
Yes, I did.
And what was that call?
It was regarding human remains found.
And where specifically did you respond to?
It was in the desert area, north of Starwells Road, east of Quarry Road, and west of the I-15.
And do you recall about what time you received the call out first?
I don't recall the time specifically, but the call out came in the form of an email from my sergeant.
And do you recall approximately what time you arrived out at that scene?
It was the next day, Tuesday, approximately 06:30, 07 hours.
Can you describe the scene for us when you arrived out there?
We met on Quarry Road, approximately a mile north of Sutter Wells. It was actually on the road where we met, and we got briefed by the coroner's office.
Do you recall who else participated in that briefing?
There was a long list of people, including coroner's office personnel, detectives from homicide.
As part of the investigation, with this type of investigation, was some type of command post area set up?
Yes.
And where was that?
We set up that on Quarry Road, on the actual road.
Is setting up a homicide command post unique to this type of investigation, or is it done in all investigations?
It's not done in all investigations, but most.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit number 181 and ask if you are familiar with what is contained in that photograph.
Yes, I am familiar.
And how are you familiar with it?
This is an aerial photograph from the helicopter of the command post and where all the units were staged.
If you can, for the jury, it's on the big screen behind you that they can see. There is a laser pointer here with the button right there. If you could first, do you see Interstate 15 in this photograph?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point that out for the jurors so they can orient themselves? You're indicating a long road to the top right of the photograph, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you go ahead and mark that on the photograph?
Sure. Does the court have a color preference for this witness?
No.
Black Sharpie. You can put a notation and maybe an arrow in the upper right pointing towards Interstate 15. Okay. If you can then indicate for the jury where the command post is located.
The command post is basically where all the vehicles are.
In the center.
Right here.
Okay.
The big trailer that you see, the largest vehicle, is the actual command post for homicide.
And then, is that actually a road or that everyone is parked on, or is it like just a dirt path?
I believe that is Quarry Road. It's an unmaintained county road.
So when you say unmaintained, the county does not come out and pave it, put curbs in or streetlights?
That is correct.
Okay. If you can, on the exhibit, also mark maybe down to the bottom right, Quarry Road, and draw an arrow to what you just pointed to the jury. And do the same for the command post, please. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Stoddard Wells Road would be off to the right of the photograph as we're looking at it, is
To
that
the
correct?
right and to the south, Your Honor.
South would be the
Downward.
bottom of, up. And does Quarry Road run into Stoddard Wells Road?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think there is a freeway entrance right at the intersection of all the three roads. The freeway exit or entrance, Quarry Road and Stoddard Wells.
and I'm sorry, I was somewhat distracted with the technology while the judge asked that question. Stoddard Wells Road is not depicted here, correct?
No, it's not.
And you said it is off where?
It was south of the actual incident location.
About how far?
Hard to say, Your Honor, probably about a mile or so.
Okay.
The terrain, can you describe the terrain for us, please?
The terrain was just the way you see it in there is desert brush, greasewoods from, inches to 4 or 5 feet tall. Sandy and rocks.
Are there other unimproved trails or roads near Quarry Road?
I believe there is a bunch of trails that people used to ride motorcycles and just off-road.
We heard previously from Sergeant Hart about a line search. Did you participate in that?
Yes, I did.
And just to back up, this is all happening on the 12th now at this point, correct?
Well, when I was at the scene, yes, the first day was the 12th.
Okay. For you?
Correct.
Okay. Other personnel may have been there on the 11th.
Yes,
Okay.
as I understand it.
At some point, were you alerted to the presence of what has been characterized as possible grave sites?
Yes, I was.
And in general, where was it in relation to the command post?
It was east of the command post between the I-15 freeway and Quarry Road.
What is to the west of the command post? We see the freeway to the east. What's to the west?
Just desert, and I think there's a big mountain
Okay.
west of.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 183.
Can I remove it from the protector?
Sure.
Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes.
Describe what we're looking at here.
It's the same photograph, except doing the angle to the west of the command post.
Can you point out for us the command post if it's depicted in this photograph? Okay. Behind it, to the west of Quarry Road, what is that?
It's just open desert, and this is a big mountain that has some radio towers or TV towers on it.
How far away, if you have an estimate for us, from the command post to that mountain is it, if you know?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to point to this object here in the upper left-hand corner. Do you happen to know what that lighter discoloration is to the earth there?
I believe that was part of the dump site. The county dump site.
Okay, so the county landfill?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna mark that with maybe the letter L for landfill or D for dump, whichever.
You still have to. Hold on. Oh, take it out of the sleeve first. Oh, it's already out?
Yes.
Okay.
So which area do you want me to mark on?
Let's start with the landfill. If you can just mark the area of the landfill.
Okay.
If you can also orient us again by giving us a little arrow to command post, and I'll let you abbreviate by CP if that's okay.
That would be fine. Okay.
And while looking at this photograph, can you tell me up here on the screen what this line is here, if you know?
I believe that's just a trail, but it may also be a gas line that is commonly known as.
After conducting the line search for evidence, what were your responsibilities?
I was assigned to document the excavation of one of the graves.
And which was that?
Grave B, as in boy.
Before we move on to grave B, I just want to get this picture up there, maybe a little better. 189. Is that kind of a closer view of the mountain and the dump site, facility site?
That is correct.
Oops. And what did you say was located on the top of the mountain over here to the right side of the photograph?
Some sort of tower, radio or TV or something like that.
And this is a bigger picture of the dump over here
That is correct.
on the left. Prior, tell us how the investigation or excavation of grave B started with you being there.
Well, by the time I arrived at the gravesite, the excavation had already been started
Do you know by whom?
by the investigator coroner Bob Hunter, Dr. Gray, and a volunteer by the last name of Brunel.
And do you know how long they had started that excavation prior to you stepping foot near it?
I don't.
This gravesite that you were assigned to, were you able to establish its distance from a scene datum point or a central data point?
Yes.
We heard testimony from Sergeant Hart about the establishment of that site, of the central data, scene data point. How far away was grave B from that scene datum point?
I believe the northwest corner of the grave was about 12 feet, approximately.
And then, did you measure two aspects of the grave from that central point?
The two top corners, yes.
And do you remember those distances?
And just for clarification, I didn't measure those. Those measurements were given to me.
Ah, okay. Was that about 11 foot 6 inches and 14 feet 7 inches?
That is correct.
Describe what you were looking at when you first observed grave B. What did it look like?
It looked like the area specific to the grave was sunken in. And it wasn't level with the remainder of the terrain.
Did it have an orientation north, south, east, west that you noted?
The grave orientation was northwest at the top and southeast at the feet, if you want to call it that, or at the bottom.
Your Honor, we're gonna move into a subject that's gonna be quite lengthy at the court.
Sure, this would be a perfect time to go ahead and take our new recess then. We'll go ahead and take our new recess till 1:30 this afternoon. Again, keep in mind the admonitions previously given to you, not to form or express any opinions about the case, not to discuss the case, or allow anyone to discuss the case with you or in your presence.